Once again, welcome back to Sports Talk 101. Today's video, cutting more people. Today's video is cutting the SEC. Today, look at LSU. Look, LSU is a really good team. One of the best team in the SEC. Of course, you have Alabama, Georgia, right? Tennessee. Of course, newcomers of Oklahoma and Texas. And then you also have other teams, also, of course, Ole Miss, right? LSU is really one of the best teams. Brad Kelly comes in. He comes in the head coach. Takes over the head coach of LSU a year ago. Did this job, really good job doing it. Comes to LSU, did a good job. He left. You bring in Lake Kiffin. He's gone. He leaves LSU. Lake Kiffin leaves Ole Miss to go to LSU. And that takes Peter to become the head coach of Ole Miss. So Lane Kiffin comes in head coach as LSU heading to 2026. Lane Kiffin is a good coach. He's done a major job at Ole Miss, led it to playoffs. Well, during his coaching year, of course, was not the playoff team, but all the way to the playoff team, up to the playoff point of view. He's got over the hump. He's gone 10-2. He's a type. Look, LSU was 7-5 last year. Okay, I think Lane Kiffin is going to take this team to a 9. This could get back to a 9-8, 9+ win type of team. Okay, I think this team can go further. LSU definitely is a 9+ win team. I know that for a fact, and I know that what Lane Kiffin's done. He's done a great job to turn Ole Miss to 10+ win, 9+ win playoff club team. If he can replicate that from Ole Miss into LSU, it's gonna be interesting. You do get Gary Nussmeier coming back, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. He'll probably get a new system. That's what they. That was a good quarterback, but with the new system, new offensive coordinator, that's something to keep. You do get some guys coming back. You got some guys, both defensively and offensively. You do lose some guys defensively as well, offensively to the draft and to the portal, like everybody does every single year. But LSU is a really good team offensively and defensively. I mean, there's no team in my mind, no doubt, that LSU is not a great team. Okay, this is a top 15, top 10 team, at least top 15, some years top 10 in recruiting, and usually finishes the top 15 year out. Now, will they make the playoffs or not? Who knows? This team is one of the actual types of people, back to Joe Burrow and Edgerrin back in the day, and of course, Bally Kelly did a good job. He came in. Now you have Lane Kiffin. So you have 3 great coaches coming in at LSU. Now, third one obviously being Lane Kiffin. I think LSU is in the right direction, going, in my opinion, in the right direction. Look, all offensively, okay, LSU is a great team, offensively, defensively. So let's talk about LSU for a second offensively. This type of team, really good quarterback. That's why it's really good quarterback. He's got a good arm. He got the receivers to do it. So they have developed the receivers there. Offensively, these really good run game. They get a receiver come back. Defensively, really good secondary. And I think LSU has the ability to do. Now, with the schedule, we get a little schedule next year, but I think that's going to make a difference because schedule is different in SEC year out. And you play a conference that's really tough conference. Okay? And let's talk about recruiting because LSU recruits really well. Number 1 overall ranking, number 1 in transfer portal, and 11th and they also don't recruit well. They also get one of the best transfer portals. Everyone plays with LSU. I think that's the type of team. Lane Kiffin comes in. You do get really good 2 5-stars. One both defensive linemen, which is both in-state guys coming in. Pretty good recruiting class there for signees and how level coming in. And then you go to transfer portal. A lot of the players you're going to see this are come from Ole Miss. It makes sense because Lane Kiffin was at Ole Miss, like I said. He's now coming to LSU. You bring in players like Prince Augumeli, the edge from Ole Miss. You go bring a lot of good players from a lot of players from Ole Miss are going to come to. You do bring in Josh Jackson from Michigan. You do bring in some players from Tennessee. You do bring in. From McNeese, Josh Jackson from McNeese, the wide receiver. You do bring not a whole lot of players from Ole Miss, but you get a good portion of your players are coming from Ole Miss. But you do bring in, like I said, really good really good draft, really good recruit. Really good. Devin Harper, O-line from from Ole Miss, so Longstreet from Southern Cal, and so you do. I think the biggest one is Leonard Clark, the quarterback from Elon. You do bring in Sam Lovett, quarterback from Arizona State. He's got a really good job yesterday, Big 12. He's done a really good job there. Um, Sam Lovett is a really good quarterback. I saw him his career over at um, um, Arizona State, and he's did a good job. I mean, if you put up stats, I don't put up stats because I think he's a really good player, one of the best players in the league. I think it's some of the stats here. Let's see the stats. He's a really good quarterback. I really love him. Look, it's gonna come down to him and Usman. Let's see here. Love it. Stats. He is a good quarterback. I do. Last year, 2025, he had approximately 65 of his passes, throwing over 332 yards for 26,000 interceptions. Average about what 10. So that's really he's about 65% passes. And then you look at Garrett Nussmeier last year. He had was a 64 completion rate, so Nussmeier's a great quarterback. I think he's off. I'm just going to see. He got drafted. Yeah, he was drafted it. So you lose. Let's come back. Sorry, you lose Nussmeier to the draft. He was picked 7th overall by the Kansas Chiefs. So Nussmeier's gone. He's off the NFL. Right, you lose Nussmeier to the draft, and you bring Sam Lovett to the portal. I think Sam Lovett's gonna be quarterback. Lovett's gonna be quarterback. He experienced at Arizona State. Like I said, 65% of passing rate. He threw over 32,000 yards, 20 touchdowns last year for Arizona State. I think that he's the right fit. I think he's going to be QB1. He is already a veteran player. That's a new system compared to Arizona State. Because LSU does want a little bit different offense. So, let's take a look at the schedule and see what we can. Look at the schedule. Right now, betting odds right now, but over under right now for LSU, it is 8.5. I'm taking over. I think this team will get back to 9+1 team. I think this team can get back to where it was before, winning the SEC. But this is a tough schedule though. They do get a tough schedule. I'll explain to you what I mean. So obviously the home against. I'm gonna go run another tough schedule, and I'm gonna give you a winner loser flavor. So week opener at home against Clemson, a really good game. That one against Davis Company, get loser Tech Company. Then you go on the road. And you have 2 back-to-back rough games. You got on the road Ole Miss, can come home against Texas A&M. You got McNeese easy one there. Come on the road Kentucky, come home against Mississippi State. Then at Auburn, tough place to play. This is a tough schedule. I mean, Alabama home, Texas home, at Tennessee, and then at Arkansas. This may be the toughest schedule on LSU's schedule. This might be a tough schedule. I don't know what the schedule is right now. Probably up there, top 10, top 15. But this is going to be a tough schedule. I'll be for better for that. You beat Clemson. Look, if there's any better way for LSU, look, if you're an LSU fan, you bring Sam Lovett, because Sam Lovett has the experience, he's a veteran quarterback. I would rather have UT Tech week 1 and then Clemson week 2. The reason why I'm saying that is because you want to get Sam Lovett adjusted to the new, to SEC, to new coordinators, new coaching staff, new playbook, everything, which is good. Kick over team. I think that's be benefit of the game, but you do play Clemson week one. You'll suffer the win there. You win against Ole Miss. You go on the road against Ole Miss, against Lincoln for his former team, and he take a loss here. The first loss is year 2-1. I love Ole Miss. You could win this one. You could go on the road Ole Miss. Yes, I win it. Absolutely. You come home, you play 10 XXM. I think you win this one. This is a really crucial game. These two right here, back-to-back road games, and you get 4 straight games, tough games with losing Tech sandwiched in between that. Was almost an easy schedule here. You'll win the next few games. Hang the game against Auburn on the road. Auburn, that is a tough place to play, but I'm going to give you the benefit down. I'm going to give you the win there. You hang the bye week. Over, under. And bye week. Come up bye week. You play Clemson. I think you'll lose this one. You lose the next 3 games. Sorry. You'll lose Alabama at home. Could you win this one? Yes. Could you beat Texas at home? Yes. But you go on the road to Tennessee. It is a road game. It's Neyland Stadium. That is a tough place to play. I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. And lastly, go on the road back-to-back road game. You finish the season against Arizona State. Arkansas. 8-4. Not hits the under. I said I'm taking under. I'm not looking at the schedule. I'm taking under. 4 losses. Losses are 2 road losses and 2 home losses. I think that's fair for 2026. 8-4. Comment below what your thoughts on LSU. Did I do right? I mean, did I predict it right? And again, this is a prediction, right? Will I be 100%? Could I be wrong in 2026? Absolutely. I think LSU will go 8-4 in 2026 with losses to Ole Miss and Tennessee, because there are 2 rough games, road games. There's really tough opponents, and then you have Texas and Alabama, also really two tough games. You get them home. The rest of that game is you get also get Clemson, another tough game, but 3 of those are home. Could you go 1-1 against Clemson and between Alabama and Texas? Absolutely. Then you get on the road at Auburn. Even though Auburn's a really good team, the reason why I'll give you the win, but that is a tough place to play. Auburn on the road, Auburn, that is a tough place to play. You've got really tough games at Auburn, home against Texas A&M, home against Clemson, on the road Ole Miss, home against Alabama, home against Texas, and on the road at Texas, and then back-to-back road games at Arkansas, at Tennessee, and Arkansas, back-to-back games, which is split 1-1 in that series. This is a tough schedule for LSU. 8-4 seems reasonable. Could it go 9-3? Probably. With Lane Kiffin, knowing Lane Kiffin, if you get this team to 8-4, 9-3, post Brian Kelly era, that's a step in the right direction for LSU. I think the future is bright for LSU. I think they're going in the right direction. They got a really good coach. They got a good quarterback in Tim Levitt coming in from Portal. We'll see how it goes. And again, I'll explain to you my thought of the schedule. You know, we talk about this idea, right? You win games you're supposed to win, lose games you're supposed to lose to. You win games you're not supposed to win, or lose games you're not supposed to lose to, right? And you have trap games. The only trap game is probably maybe LA Tech, which I don't think it's going to be a trap game. And then, tricky road games, really tough games are. I also look at home games and then tough games and also home games as well. 3 other tough games, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4 of the tough games are home. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them are on the road. We have 8 tough games, 4 home, 4 on the road. It is a non-easy schedule. You put Michigan, you put Georgia, you put Ohio State, anybody in this schedule, Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and tell me they're going for. Just tell me. I truly believe the future is bright for LSU. Like I said, I just don't know what Lift can do. Like I said, great offense, great defensively. This team is well-rounded on both sides of the ball. One of the best teams out there. Really good team. I think the future is bright for LSU. Just put it out there. Can they win the SEC? I don't know. It is possible. Could they surprise me win the SEC next year and go in next year? Sure. Could they make the playoffs? Sure. It's all possible. It is. Anything is possible in college football. like and subscribe channel, hit the notification button, and watching out. See you next video. Peace.